All through with all this thing with Dwight these last couple of months, as it kind of, have you looked at your own life and your old relationship with the 49ers and your family, and what's it done to you in these last few months?
No, I think when you watch someone that you were close to for a long period of time go through, what he went through, it really starts making you look at what's really important in your life. We're always running around, we always have something to do, but in the end, it comes around your friends and your family you can't overlook that. And I had this conversation even last night with Jennifer, and just little things, even when we get in an argument about something stupid, I go, we just don't know when it might be our time. So I hate arguing. So I find every way to get away from it, but it makes you see relationships different, see friendships different, and I'm not getting any younger either, so you put that on top of it.
What was your relationship with him? We all know it from the catch and football, wide receiver and quarterback, but what was your relationship away from the field with him?
Well, from the beginning, we were really good friends from the start. I think we were in similar type positions. He obviously drafted a little bit later, but we were roommates in camp, and then we ended up being roommates during the seasons until one of us got married and moved on. But we lived in Hayward. With my agent at the time, found us a great deal over in Hayward that we could afford. We're not getting those contracts you see today. And so we used to drive from Hayward back and forth, and there was a Wendy's, so our car was just like, okay, Wendy's, almost every day on the way home. So it was fun. He was one of those guys that just had a big heart, super, super friendly and nice, obviously good looking, and was, I don't think I really ever saw him in a bad mood that I can remember.
Eddie D said, man, Joe and Dwight, they were like husband and wife. I don't know who was who, though.
Well, for the longest time, we were pretty much inseparable as we went around through the days and practice. And the one thing that happened, too, is we spent a lot of time on the field. So getting to know each other off the field was just another part of it. But being a wide receiver, we have to spend a lot of time with those guys, and working on routes and timings and things. But he was a hard worker. He was never complained about anything on the field, off the field, the same way. And even until the last days that I saw him.
How difficult was it those last few days or the last few weeks for him, obviously, but for you as well?
I think the sight of him, from how you remember him, and he had all kind of nicknames like Hercules, and he had the most unbelievable Tarzan yell ever. And then to see him to the way he was, and it was hard physically to see, but I still tried to treat him exactly as I did before. I made fun of him as much then as I did before. I told him I found out he had 2 speeds on his wheelchair, and every time he would put it in a fast speed, I go, dude, you're a white wide receiver. You can't put it in black wide receiver mode. He goes, you can't handle that speed. And every time he got it in that speed, he'd get stuck somewhere. I go, how many times do I have to tell you, you're a white wide receiver? And, so I just felt the thing is for me, just like I've always tried to be with wherever, just try to be yourself as much as you can. And he knows I'd make fun of him before, I'll make fun of him today. He'll do the same back to me, and that's what I tried to do. I tried to make him smile because I know that what he was going through in his mind, I can't imagine. I know it wasn't easy.
What was the last thing you said to him, or what he said to you?
I love you, for both sides. When we left, I thought I'd see him again before that happened, but it went really fast. My wife and I we were away for the weekend, and we were coming back Sunday and flying out. We got in late Sunday. We were going to unpack, repack, and go back Tuesday morning, and got a call from Ronnie, who was up there at the time with Mr. D, and said, you got to get here right away. And trying to find a flight, trying to find even a private plane to get there as fast as we could. We couldn't get one fast enough, and in the middle of those calls, Eddie D called back and said, "Hey, he's gone." And so I wish I'd have been there. We all did, but glad Ronnie and Eddie were there. So, but it was, in the end, in the long run, he's probably in a better place for sure right now.
What's his legacy? What does he leave behind to the NFL and to the community here in the Bay Area?
I think he was the start of one of those, of that big, strong, faster type wide receiver that, he would run anything you ask him to, not complain. If he had to clear routes, he didn't care. He just wanted to be a part of that team, and that was it. He'd have your back in a minute, no matter who you were on that team. It was the ultimate teammate and friend.
So it's called the throw, not the catch, right?
We used to laugh about that. I told him if that was John Taylor, shoot the ball and hit him right here in the chest. Oh, come on, DC, all this acrobatic stuff.
Was it designed for him? Can you clarify this? No. Was it Freddie? Was he clearing out? Freddie, what was the deal?
It's the craziest play. We ran this play so many times before, even go way back. This kind of goes to like Bill's insights and things that he would do that you would think, what is he talking about? This play in training camp that year, he made Dwight and I stay after his second day of practice one day and practice that play. And we both come off the field going, oh my gosh, he's crazy. We never throw the ball to Dwight because we usually they're in a slot. Somehow we end up in a slot formation. Freddie another receiver was the inside. He was the outside, and he was basically setting a pick. And the guy would come off and throw it. Well, Freddie falls down. And it was like one of the first times that it ever happened that we had to really rely on him to actually do his job, what he was supposed to do all the other time. Usually he's never had to go that far because by then the ball's already out of my hand and gone. And sure enough, he took his good old time getting around that, telling him, getting back there and doing because he was supposed to go to the back of the end zone and slide along the back. And I was supposed to throw it high, but not that high. But if he didn't catch it, it was out of bounds. But when I let it go, I didn't think it was that high. But I mean, that's Bill made us do that, and little did we know not only would we have to use it, but how important the play would be in the history of the 49ers. Yeah. So.
You don't really talk that much smack, at least publicly, but to Too Tall, you kind of talk a little smack, right?
No, I mean, there was a lot of talk going on in that game because we had played them once already earlier in the year and beat them, and there was this respect thing. There was this. I mean, everybody was talking about everybody and everything out on the field. I just joined in on occasion. I usually have too many things to think about, and back then we didn't have those little earpieces, so you start thinking about what's coming up next, plays, and all that. So you usually don't have that much time.
What was your view of it? Did you see it perfectly catch right in front of you?
No, I didn't see it at all. I got knocked down, and I'm sure Eddie told you he was behind a horse. So, apropos, but yeah, no, I didn't see it till I got inside. But the funny thing is Chico Norton, our equipment manager, was on the sideline. And he's not normally on the sideline. And he came over to me and said, boy, your buddy saved your ass that time. I'm going, what are you talking about, Chico? He goes, he jumped out of the stadium. I go, he's white, he can't jump. And little did I know, what the play, what a catch he made. And,
how did you know he scored and caught it?
I just heard the crowd go crazy. And when I let it go, he was in front of the receiver, so I just figured, okay, he caught it, and it's no big deal. So.
How was the locker room that day?
Oh, insane! Yeah, it was insane. Obviously, in the other big play in there that people forget about was Eric Wright's saving tackle. Otherwise, they scored a touchdown and the game's completely changed. But Wright was the big hero, another big hero in that game.
Through the years, did you realize the significance of that as the years went on? Because that changed the Bay Area. Remember, San Francisco was a rough and tumble time at that point as well, after the Moscone murder and everything.
But I don't think we looked at it that way when we look back on it and hear from everyone else involved around the Bay Area. I think we were just ecstatic to be here in San Francisco and going to a Super Bowl at the time, and being able to win one for the city and for the fans. And so I don't think we looked at it as wow, how important that play was going to be. But wow, it certainly got us over the hump of the Cowboy era for the 49ers and put us in a great position.
You and Dwight stayed dear friends forever, throughout your life. So what did you learn from him, or what did he teach you?
Well, I have a tendency sometimes, and my wife will tell you, that I work from the negative side a lot of times as motivation more than anything. So I use that part as motivation. He was a little bit similar to that in cases, so we kind of got along. I mean, when we were in training camp the first year, he never ever unpacked, and he always, whenever it was time for the guy to walk around and tell everyone who was going to be cut, he would leave all his stuff on his bed. I was like, what are you doing, you knucklehead? But you know, just watching him and the way he worked every day, I mean, the way he practiced, he participated, and the amount that he gave for the team every day, and to his friends off the field, the same way he was there for support for anyone. But trying to get out of that negative part of it was, he helped me just watching him. He used to make me laugh.
Was he a messy roommate in Hayward? Where in Hayward, by the way? You should go to that house now and say, you know, I used to live here.
It was an apartment complex, and I can't remember if it was C Street or D Street. It was one way at the end of one of them. It was new back then. It's probably really old right now, unless they fixed it up. But no, he was funny. He always loved music and singing. He used to drive me crazy. He had a good voice, but still singing. But no, he was a lot of fun.
You guys going out, two good-looking guys back in the day. That must have been a good time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We won't include this part. What does it mean to, at Levi's Stadium, that they're going to have the statues? They're going to unveil it in October, actually, when this airs. Is that something that's special to you, that you and Dwight together?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty exciting. When I lived close to the baseball park, we'd go down there, and you see the statues of the players that are out in front of the stadium, and it's pretty great honor for that to be happening to myself and Dwight. I just wish he was around to see it. He would have had a lot of fun with it, and he brought a lot of joy to a lot of people, and I'm glad I got included in his statue coming along.
Did he want to share anything, in his final days or weeks that he said, "Hey, Joe, can you pass this message along to anyone?" Was there any sort of message like that?
I think the biggest thing that he gave back, that he talked about, was his friends and his family, and not to lose sight of those as you go, because you never know. And I think everybody knows how devastating the disease is. Everybody knows how fast it can go and how aggressive it can be. But you just never know when it's going to happen to you, and try to enjoy, your life and the people around you and your family. And that's what I've been trying to do as much as I can, and even more so. We're pretty close as a family anyway, but we try to stay that way as much as possible.
You still look good. You're not getting that old.
Instead of chasing my wife around.
She looks really good. Everything okay? I know last time I saw you, you were talking about Calistoga. Are you rebuilding everything after the fires, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, we lost a lot. We lost a big house where my dad lived.
Yeah.
We're still trying to clean up and figure out where we're going to go with that and how we're going to fix it, what we want to do. Don't know if we're going to completely rebuild over there or not. We may probably won't put in something. It was a big old house, like almost 10,000 square feet, but it was one of the original homes on the property. So we'll probably do something smaller over there. But yeah, we've just been cleaning up the fire, and we were luckier than most.
I remember you just telling me when I was with you with Ronnie, saying, I don't know if were you there that night?
No,
your dad was there, right? Or?
No. My dad passed away back in March, but they had let us go in a little bit before that. I think the day before that, and get stuff out of the house, and we grabbed all the stuff that the kids had made for us. And my wife goes, "You want any of your stuff?" I go, no, let's just leave it. Let's just get as much of the kids' things that we could get. And then at the last minute, I go, "Oh, hold on. Let's grab some of that old wine," the really, really old wine, and put it in. We took like a couple cases of wine, but it was fun because around the one side of the property there's a bridge, and where my dad's house was, and they wouldn't. The fire department was over there at that time, and they wouldn't let. We were standing on the bridge, and you could see the fire burning in the trees, but we can't see the house from there, and we assumed that it had gone, and they said, "No, it's still there right now." But later that night, I guess it just swooped through, and from the backside out, it was pretty crazy.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I think we're okay. I've actually one question. You watch the current day 49ers?
You know what? I have not had a chance to see
Too
them.
much hype on Jimmy G. I mean, this is a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. It's just you never know. You know, you just hope that they made a good decision with them. You know, the numbers looked, semi-decent last week, I guess, but I've been traveling.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'll probably get a chance to watch him this week. Since
From what you've
Thursday.
seen of him, even last season, what impresses you about him?
I didn't see him play last year at all. I didn't, honestly.
Where the heck have you been?
Well, none of the games meant anything.
You're running this fund.
None of the games meant anything. Actually, I mean, our family's a do family, right? We're not, unless there's a big game on or something. We don't watch a lot of. We won't watch some of the NFL like on a Monday night. My wife will use it as a reason to get the boys to come to dinner. Yeah. But unless there's a big game, we'll watch more college as much as anything. Yeah. But yeah, last year in the end we were on the road a lot and going back and forth. And this year I've been, of the times that they played, the 3 times, I've been gone each time. So
you'll be watching for the first time.
I think this will be the first time on Thursday. Yeah, and then I think we're going. I think it's the home opener we're going to. I think.
Okay, nice.
I forget who they play, Cardinals or someone like that.
Home opener, yeah, probably.
Home opener, yeah. They go.
Minnesota's week 1.
Yeah, I think we're week 2. We go. Yeah. The 16th.
You said that Dwight was annoying about his singing because we also talked to Huey.
Oh, that's right.
And he talked about how you guys would sing back up for his song. I mean, what was that? I mean, was that just like a choice that you guys just decided to get on stage? Like,
No. Huey asked us to do it. He brought like 4 or 5 guys, and it's a really embarrassing because I told him, I said, there was a point where he's going, "Oh, stop. Somebody in here is really flat." And I'm like, "I guarantee you that's me." So I lip synced the next part. Sure enough, that was me. Oh, but it was fun. He was a great guy. He was fun. His whole band is just a kick. Those guys, we stayed close to those guys for a long time.
You guys, you were both at the right time, right?
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
the mid-'80s, early 80s.
Yeah.